Good morning, everyone. I'm Sriram. I have Jamie with me here. Earlier today in the keynote, you heard about how we have strengthened the core Avalara platform. Active regions, multi-cloud deployments, reliability at scale, and agentic engineering. But that's just one part of the story, right? Today, we want to talk about something equally important, what it feels like to build on Avalara. Over the past several months, we have had candid conversations with many of you, customers, partners, and implementers. And the feedback has been resounding. We can make it work, but it shouldn't be this hard. So the session is about that feedback and what you have done to change it. Let me start with the most common thing that we heard. Developers told us, I know Avalara has the APIs I need, but I can't find the right documentation quickly. Many of you said you ended up reaching out to a CAM, a support, or digging through multiple pages trying to locate a single endpoint explanation. That's friction. And friction slows integration, and the slower the integration, the longer the time to market. And honestly, that's on us. So we partnered closely with UX and asked a simple question: what would a developer-first navigation experience look like?
So today, when we evaluated the existing portal, one thing became clear. It wasn't aligned to developers' think and work. The current structure felt like a catalog. Content was grouped by what we published, not what developers were trying to accomplish. Developers don't just browse documents for fun. They arrive with a task in mind. They want to solve something specific and move forward quickly. Instead, they were met with unclear starting points, mixed content types, and fragmented information. APIs, guides, and supporting resources were blended in a way that required extra effort to think. When developers open up the product menu, they can immediately see the different capabilities and services available across the platform. This gives them a quick way to explore ecosystem and jump directly into the documentation or API-related specific product. So instead of digging through the pages, they can orient themselves quickly and move forward to what they need. The other big improvement on how the content connects across the experience, APIs now link directly to guides surface related to endpoints. So instead of navigating back and forth across the portal, developers can move naturally in their workflow. This creates the more connected experience that helps developers stay focused and make progress faster. Top-level navigation now reflects users' intent rather than internal structure.
Well, Jamie, that is great. It's great to see all the improvements in the navigation experience. Now that we have the ability to find what we want, what next, right? This brings us to a second major theme we heard from our developers, which is, I see the API spec, but I don't know what this actually does. Our previous experience was very traditional: static API documentation, sample request and response blocks, no way to experiment, and they expect to try an API, modify inputs, see real responses, fail fast, and move forward. So again, we asked, why don't we have that?
We should, right? What if I told you that we have something for you? Would that surprise you?
Yeah.
Did you know that we actually address most of these concerns with a brand new playground experience? Traditionally, developer portals are static. You read documentation, then switch to another tool to test the APIs. We wanted to move from that static experience to something interactive. So with the playground, developers can explore curated scenarios, see the request, how request works, and view results directly in the portal. It turns the documentation into hands-on learning experience. The playground is built around real integration outcomes. Instead, showing isolated API calls, developers can walk through end-to-end scenarios. For example, submitting an e-invoicing or creating a webhook subscription. This helps developers understand not just what API does, but how it fits in a real workflow. Let's see how it works. Sriram, take us through.
Sure, yeah. So this is the new developer playground. Once you get into the playground, you get an option to choose what product you want to explore. And within that, there are curated scenarios. What we are here inside the Avatax products scenarios that are curated and shown here. We're going to look at a very simple case of a customer wanting to do consumer use tax calculation using the Avatax APIs. And typically, this is done with a specific field in the calculate tax API set to a particular value. And once you do that, the tax calculation suddenly becomes like a consumer use tax calculation. And this is not kind of obvious in the documentation sometimes, right? But it's very useful and common for developers so that we kind of get value for them when they kind of come into the portal and actually take a look at it. So that's one scenario. We're going to look at something a little bit more end-to-end, a little bit more real in terms of how a customer's integration journey lines up, right? This is how does a customer actually submit an e-invoice to a tax authority using the Avalara's ELR APIs. Each step has a contextual code snippets and all the various relevant APIs that are associated with it. So as a developer goes through the scenario here, they get guided through the various steps of how to go through a mandate selection process, how to identify the various input fields that are associated with it, how do I submit a document, and so on. And for those who are already familiar with the platform, they get a quick reckoner of the APIs. We will be constantly enhancing the playground with more relevant scenarios at the right level of detail. And for this release, the scenarios are pre-computed. This means you get consistent, reliable examples that demonstrate the flow. In the upcoming iterations, we will expand towards executing this in your own environments.
That's fantastic, Sriram. So instead of navigating back and forth across the portal, developers can move naturally through the workflow, which gives them much clear path for the exploration to implementation. We're super excited for you to explore this right after the session.
Yeah, I'm super excited too, and we're looking forward to see what partners and the developers have to say about the new playground.
And I was wondering, is that all we do? Is that the end state? I mean, to reduce friction, our developers and partners from standpoint of making it easy, that's really great. But is that all?
No, not really. I mean, obviously we can do more. We could build more integrations. We could write more examples. We could provide more contextual help. But that doesn't seem to satisfy you. What are you looking at?
Well, it seems like more of the same. I mean, granted, it's better, but it's more of the same thing. Shouldn't we leading with an A?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yes, AI is the trend. And you're asking what we're doing with AI for developers and partners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
And we got you covered, Jamie. So we have the new developer documentation MCP servers that we are launching. I'm super excited about this. It's going to turbocharge integrations, and it will be a game changer when it comes to partners wanting to build integrations and go to market faster. You can hop onto the developer portal, check out how to set it up in your favorite IDEs, and give it a spin.
Yeah, this is impressive. From having developers read through wall of text, having their agents in their IDE to generate code, leveraging our MCP docs. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. I'm excited to go try out myself.
Hang on, wait. Before you go off, I have one more thing to ask you, and I bet this is the last.
Okay, it better be good then.
Yeah, so, I've been looking at various developer portals, okay. And I've also checked out many other developer ecosystems. And most of them have chatbots, for easier and contextual help and all that stuff. And you know what chatbots are.
Yeah, of course.
So why don't we have it in a developer portal, Jamie?
Well, what are you saying? When was the last time did you check our developer portal?
A few days ago.
Wait, a few days ago? Isn't that like a month for coding? I mean, joking apart, I'm pleased to share that we have Avi in our developer portal now. Even unsigned-in users can ask questions to Avi and get instantaneous answers. Let us know how Avi responds to your questions.
Great. I am excited. Avi on the portal and Avi on the developer portal too, and Avi everywhere. I'm going to go try it out myself. If there's one thing we want to leave you with today, it's this.
We heard you. This redesign wasn't just cosmetic. It wasn't just rebranding. It was friction removal. It was dependency reduction. It was about respecting your time. And we're not done. This is an iterative journey.
What you're seeing today is a major step in making Avalara truly developer-centric. After the session, please go check out the portal, the playground, the MCP servers, and Avi on the portal. Let us know your feedback, because the next iteration, that comes from you.